I can. You're kind of cutting in and out.
Sorry, I'm just a little bit away from my desk here with my headset. That should be better. Okay, is it just gonna be? Yeah, no problem.
Hello. Okay. All right. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. You might have to just stop at standard and see if they have it. They might not though. All right. All right. I'm going to be in a meeting for the next, I don't know, maybe hour or so. Okay. Thanks. All right. Sorry about that.
No problem at all. Just gonna be the two of us?
Yes.
Perfect. So we'll jump right into it here. First, before we get going, again, I want to express my apology for the mix-up on the meeting last week. I just completely missed your response. It's totally on me. So, again, please accept my apology for that. Otherwise, let's jump in and get it done. Get you back to your day. Sounds like you're busy here. So, I do assume you can see my screen. Okay, the agenda on one side, Profit Rhino on the other.
Correct.
Perfect, perfect. Just a little roadmap, what we like to hit as we walk through here. Before we jump in too far, Victoria, I'm going to have you tell me just a little bit more about the business, what you guys are doing now, where you're looking to go, just so we can focus on what's important to you today, not take all afternoon on you. Introduction, just say hello. Demonstration, we'll really jump right in. I'll bring the iPad right up on the screen. We'll look at everything as the customer, as the tech's going to see it. And of course, we'll do questions the entire time as we walk through. And then I'll get you onto your day here. So if you don't mind, just take the floor and again, just tell me a little bit about the business, what brought you guys to look at Profit Rhino, so we can kind of focus on what's going to be important to you here today.
Right. Okay. So we are currently transitioning from ServiceTitan to Successware. That's how we heard about you guys, because we see on the website y'all partner with them for a price book. We're really trying to get, buckle down and start tracking things department-wise and just in general technician efficiency, job costing, just the whole nine. Basically, we tried to start doing that at the beginning of this year with ServiceTitan, and we just started finding out now, there's a lot of things that we thought it was going to be capable of, but it's just not. So.
Okay. Perfect. So you're just looking for some kind of pricing information to work with your Successware.
Correct. Yes, and that can track the information we need it to.
Perfect. And now, what are you looking to track through the price book?
Well, pardon me too. I'm eating at the same time we're doing this.
No, you're perfectly fine.
So whether it's tracked through Profit Rhino or Successware, we want to make sure that we're if we have a task on a job, that we can see how efficient that technician is being. Like, if they add a task, like having a time tied to that task, a time, like say that it's a drain clear and it's a lot, an hour job. Well, we want to be able to know like that. And I'm not sure if that's y'all's department or Successware's department. We've never used Successware, so we're not too familiar with it, but we're starting Successware in January.
Perfect.
So we just want to make sure that, that it's capable of tying in and tracking what we need to track.
Absolutely. So yeah, before we jump in, let's talk about the integration a little bit. We do have an integration with Successware, absolutely. What we can put in there is a touch limited. We've built a lot of upsells, cross-sells, option boards. That stuff is really only available in our standalone app, simply because their software won't take it. However, of course, we can put the full price book information in, and then kind of like you mentioned, every job, how we have this flat rate set up, you have an hourly rate in the back. Every job has a time assigned to it. So, say a drain clean out, it's going to be 60 minutes. So you're going to be able to pull a report and see that this tech ran 8 hours worth of jobs today, but you'll also be able to see through Successware that he was on the road for 9 hours and 20 minutes today. So we need to find out what happened there. Also vice versa, you can see a guy had 10 hours worth of jobs, you finished him in 8 today. So you can see that, but you are going to have to run reports through both systems to see that.
Okay.
So I just kind of like to be upfront about that, so you guys are going to know what you're going to see. I'm going to show you our app. It's going to look just a little bit differently when we put it in Successware, simply because it's going to sit on their platform. I do not have a Successware account, unfortunately, to show you, but you'll get a great idea of exactly what we're doing here today. Just refresh my air server here. And also, as we're going through, please stop me with any questions. Always the best time to address that stuff while we're looking at it, while it's in your mind there. So please don't feel like you're being rude or anything. Just jump right in and stop me if you have any questions as we walk through.
Good deal.
Perfect. All right. Here comes the iPad. So, all right. So we're going to jump right in here. Again, we're going to look at it in our app. Our app is a little smiling rhino with the tablet there. And again, we'll have this stuff put right inside of Successware for you guys. Again, this is our app, so home screen, not going to spend much time here. Obviously, we can put a logo here. Some Successware customers do use our app to present, because we do have some of these sales tools built in. If you want to do that, which we'll see today, just remember you're going to see some sort of double touch. Either they're going to have to sell and put it back into Successware in the field, or somebody's going to have to do it in the office. Otherwise, we'll just put the book in without the upsells, cross-sells. So just keep that as we go through. I'm going to make you dizzy real quick. Other things you're going to see here, hotkeys. Jump into your price book, your work order builder, your option builder. We're going to do the good, better, best. And then, of course, the customer database. Again, only if you guys are going to work through Profit Rhino do you need that. So red dot is just where I'm touching, just to kind of help you follow along, Victoria. And then this is the home screen of our price book. As you may or may not know, images are a real big thing for us here. You will find about 4,000 custom images in this book now, located in about 10,000 different places. Now, all of these images can be updated, changed, customized, cropped, whatever you guys want to do to it. You can also add unlimited amount of images as well here. The other big thing about what we're looking at here, obviously, is the view. Obviously, you guys are doing HVAC work. Are you doing any plumbing, electrical, any of the other work besides some condensate pumps, disconnects when you're doing installs?
No.
No, perfect. So what we do is we'll just turn all this stuff off. Obviously, we can turn it on and off. Great thing about Profit Rhino is when you make a purchase, you do get all the books. So if you guys ever decide to open a plumbing division, etc., we have the flat rate materials for you here. Otherwise, as we go into any of these books, they're all really set up exactly the same. Ask the tech to ask themselves a few quick questions to try and get to the job they need and get there really as quickly as possible. So 'tis the season. I've been going into the heating book here lately. First logical question we're going to ask ourselves, what kind of heating system are we standing in front of? Obviously, big ones are here, same as the front page. If you guys aren't doing oil, you're not doing steam, not doing hydronic, you can turn this stuff off. The cleaner, the easier we can make this for the guys, the faster they're going to work through it, the less chance they make mistakes. Force side air, probably the most common that everybody sees. And then what part of the system are we working on? Your ducts, ventings, controllers, sparkers, you guys know all the parts here. Again, the whole goal is to easily get from the top of the funnel to the bottom, being the job you need as quickly as possible. Once we jump inside here, this is where I think the images really start to just take over the program. If you need any type of wheels, motors, exchangers, capacitors, brackets, pulleys, you can see how quick and easily your tech can find this. Also, customers really love to see these images. They may have no idea what a belt drive blower motor is, but the fact they can see it just kind of makes it a tangible item to them. Another big thing that we're really big on here is trying to boost those service agreement sales. We didn't talk about it, but I assume you guys are doing some sort of planned maintenance program, something along those lines, right?
Correct.
Perfect. You see the two numbers here. It looks kind of innocuous, an obvious thing to do here, but very calculated. What we're trying to do is get the customer here to start this conversation. We want Mrs. Jones to ask us how we save $108 on this. We know from doing sales, I'm sure you guys have the same experience. If a customer asks about something, your chances of actually selling it went up way higher than giving a cold sales pitch. So you're going to really see this follow us every single place we go, and the whole goal is to try and get that conversation started kind of organically. So just so you'll see it everywhere. Jump in a task. First, obvious thing you notice here is the image. Any image you touch will always go full screen. When we get to thermostats, things with aesthetics, really nice to bring that up. Also diagrams. With almost every single job, you're going to find a diagram. This is not really for your techs. If your guys need this to change a blower motor, you probably have bigger problems on your hand than price book today. But when the customer wants to know why this costs $800 or just kind of the way it is now, people want more information about what they're doing, why you're doing it, what the system is. So again, just a diagram on every job to kind of help explain the system and explain this to the customers, which is really nice. To the right, we're always going to see what we call a tech description here. Obviously, a short description to let the tech know, what they're grabbing. Make sure they're pulling the right part, not a direct drive, not a half horse, etc. Second line here is going to be a little bit extra for the tech about this job. This here is telling them that we have included the belt, also suggesting we try and add a new pulley if the customer will allow it. And then the third paragraph you see there is always what we call the customer description. And that is truly that. It's going to be what it is, what it does, why it could wear out, why aesthetics, look, finish, things that customers are going to be concerned about, not really us, Victoria. 2 levels of pricing, which we already talked about. And then to jump in here to something that you had kind of brought up, this MPT. This stands for minutes per task. So what we've done here is we've assigned 90 minutes to go ahead and do this job. So again, at the end of the day, you can run a report and say, hey, Tech 1, he had 8 hours worth of jobs today. He's out there for 8 hours, 7 hours, 45 minutes, whatever. You guys can kind of see that. Also, this is where we can adjust the price of this item without changing everything else in the heating book. We can make this 95 or 85 and move this price up or down without, again, changing everything in your heating book. Always like to kind of use this as a brief pause, just see if there's any questions, comments, concerns at this point.
I'm going to kind of bounce around. So first on material costs, that's going to be tracked in here, correct?
Correct. Yep. All your parts are here. We'll see that in the web portal where we jump in, but absolutely, we track all your material costs and do the markups in Profit Rhino.
Okay, and can the tech edit the price from the field? Should it be like, say, or how detailed? And like with the price book, with us going, if we went with Profit Rhino, you have all these price books already built with just industry standard parts. Is that correct, or no?
Correct. If you go with us, the book is pretty much as we see it now. And what we do with you guys is what we call a success program. Lack of a better word, it's kind of a hand-holding process between us and you, where we're going to go through and do an audit of the book. Make sure our national average part prices work for you guys. Most of the time, we have to turn that list up or down a little bit to make it work. Just make sure the times are right. If you use our standalone, we'll double-check your upsells, your cross-sells. The goal when we're done here is to take this from an 85-90% done book for everybody to make it a completely customized book for CityLine. So even if the guys down the street use Profit Rhino, you may have a few of the same pictures, but everything is individual to your business. So another thing, keep in mind, this is a true 4-week time frame to really kind of get this done. So just keep that in mind with your timeline as well.
Okay, 4-week time frame. And then as far as changing pricing, is that fairly easy? I'm not sure if you're familiar with ServiceTitan, but if I wanted to change the prices, I would have to go into every individual task and change the prices. I can't just be like, hey, we want to raise our heating prices, our heating materials and our heating jobs 8%. Well, I can't do that. Like, I would have to go into every one of those items and change that. I don't know if that's something you guys have got a workaround for.
Absolutely, it's something we'll do. I made a note of it. We're going to look at that when we jump in the web portal. That's where you guys are changing that in the web. Okay. You're changing it globally. I put a note here on my my list, so we'll cover that really good when we go in there. But short answer is absolutely yes. In the field, the only place we allow the tech to change it is on a discount line on the invoice, simply for the fact that you can track it. So you can change the prices, in the back. You can move them up and down, change your hourly rate. We can even put in copper and just move every single piece of copper in this book in one keystroke. But in the field, your tech can only do it in one spot, simply so you don't have people giving stuff away to their brother-in-law or whoever else. You can track that stuff. So, cool.
Great. Okay.
Awesome. Next thing I'm going to show you is a few sales tools. Now, again, I just want to reiterate, if we load this into Successware, these features are not active simply due to limitations on their system. I want to show them to you because they're really pretty slick, I think, and just let you have an idea what's here. So if we hit this view recommended, also if we add it to an invoice, the exact same thing's going to happen, but we're always going to pop up recommended services. I was at, say, the Amazon selling method, people who bought this also bought this, this, and this. But the point is, the only way your guy cannot offer this stuff is to exit out and choose not to do it. We're going to kind of prompt them to do this stuff every time. So just kind of a nice way to raise the average ticket. Just tack a little bit more on to every job. Again, that's something that's going to have to be done in our standalone. The next one, I'm just going to jump to the thermostats real quick because there's not a great place to show it there. And again, this is something that'll only be available if you present with our app. But at the bottom, we like to do what we call common alternatives. Basically, if we have different levels of products, people love choices. We want them to let the people know what their choices are, especially when they're more expensive, more profitable choices, right? So we'll just put them at the bottom here. Your guy literally has to scroll down. I believe it's less than 1/16 of a page and show them this stuff. All you do is touch it. You can jump into the next one's diagrams.
Just a quick question. Are we recording so I can show this to the owner?
We are recording, and what I can do when we're done here, I have a private YouTube channel. I can download it to that and send you the link, and you guys can run through this again. Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. Sorry.
Nope. Great stuff. Again, so just some kind of sales tools I wanted to show you how they're going to look here. Again, if you're doing this in Successware, you're not going to see any of this stuff. So next thing, really quick, I'm going to run it through a tech scenario. Again, this is going to be a tech scenario in our program, so I'm not going to put a ton of time into this for us. But just so you're aware, create work order. First thing we always want to do is search your customer. All your customers would be loaded in Profit Rhino. Again, you'll have them loaded in Successware. If you're just using our price book, this is where we can come in, go to the customer. If we're doing a dispatch fee, which I assume you guys are like everyone else, we have those set right here. You can do as many or as few levels as you want. If you want to have an after hours, or if you guys have a large service area, some people do them by mileage. Again, sky's the limit. You can do what you'd like. And then in our app, again, we're going to collect the signature here. Two reasons. First one, pretty obvious, help us collect. Hard for them to say they didn't know about it when we have the signature here. Second one is, again, they're kind of involved here. This isn't something everyone's used to, so we just kind of give them to touch the tablet, warm up to the process we're going to put them in today. So after that, we diagnose the problem. Say it's a blower motor. Now with our system, we can go in and we saw how we can go right to the individual blower motor, or we do options, good, better, best pricing, again, geared to raise your average ticket price. So if you want to do options, you can do them through this 1, 2, 3 button here. We can actually build it from scratch. For time's sake, I will use a pre-built one, but I can go right here, heating, belt drive, blower motor, open it. These are already done. All your tech has to do is now present this to the customer. We have 3 options. You can do 2 to 6, again, with our standalone program. Also, if you want to do a summary of findings, jump right in here. Test. Also, voice to text to work here, so you guys can dictate in there, which is really cool. And then again, with our standalone, our invoice presentation is going to look like this. First page is going to be a summary of what we're doing for the job. We're going to hit them with member discounts, bundle savings, all the stuff to climb the ladder. Second page of the quote includes the image and full description of everything sent. Of course, cloud-based, so this is saved directly to your customer information, as well as emailed or printed directly from the tablet. So just a really nice, clean, easy way for you guys to kind of present those options or whatever in the field. They'll make the choice, pick it, send it to the work order. This is where we can go through. We can change taxes per job. We can make it tax exempt. This is the only spot they can put that discount by a dollar amount or by a percentage amount. So again, just so you can easily track it. We don't want to let these guys have free reign out in the field. We do payments directly through our system as well. I don't know if you guys have ever been involved with some of those third-party financiers, Payzer, GreenSky, Synchrony, any of those.
Yeah, GreenSky.
GreenSky. So basically, when you sign up for GreenSky, they give you that URL that says, go to this page to apply for financing through CityLine. We take it one step farther. We take that URL, put it in the app, and then all you have to do is touch that button. Mine's connected to Payzer, but it's going to jump right to your financer, and it allows them to apply for that financing, be approved for the financing, and sign off for the job, all on the text tablet where you stand in the home. So we have got some cool feedback on that as far as closing some big jobs. Again, this is something that's available in our standalone. Change the rate, simply touch, and then we have 2 signatures here. So again, I just kind of gave us the elevator pitch there. Now, this is kind of where it gets a little complicated with Successware, and just depends what you guys want to do. Again, a lot of people will present with our app. I'm sure you see with the images, upsells, cross-sells, options, that we definitely have ways we can raise that average ticket price. If you do present with our app, at this point, either you're going to finish the transaction, take the credit card here, and we're going to move everything into Successware at the end of the day, or at this point, your guy can go into Successware, put in the total of $779 for Eli, and finish the transaction through Successware. Or the obvious third option is we just put all the information in Successware, and you lose your upsells, cross-sells option boards. So just give you an idea, that's kind of what your 3 option plays are going to be when we go to Successware with you guys.
Okay.
Perfect. Any questions, comments, concerns? I think we're more focused on what we're going to see as far as management stuff in the back. So I think I'd rather push on to that if that's good.
What, say that we want to add on that good, better, best option, say that we want to talk replacement, what does that look like? Like if we wanted that best option to be a furnace.
A new furnace, perfect. So when we come through here, I don't know if I can actually edit this. Let me edit this one. So basically what you'd have to do then, we can custom build these, but if you wanted to do it in the fly, let me just get this one off of here. Start a new work order. Now we can actually go ahead and we can build these in the field in real time as well. Again, once we build it once, we can save it so you guys have it. But if we just, sorry, first day on the job here. I'm starting from scratch Monday. So all we do real quick, again, I'll just put one together real fast to show you guys here. Done. So we could do our numbered options. We want to have it in heating, save it. We're going to do it from our price. So then we can jump in here, and
I see.
I apologize. I'm all over the place here. So here's that motor. So we go to add, we can add this to an option board. And let's
Got it. Okay.
2,
Okay.
3 here, and we can build these from scratch. Also, when we jump in the back, I'll show you, you guys can actually build these from the office. You or the service manager, the owner, can actually build the ones these guys show. A lot of people like to build them for new equipment too. You can make your small, like a 2-ton 4-seer, and then you can move it up to like a 4-ton 5-seer, or, you know, with the equipment, and kind of give them different options too. The beauty of options is people are indecisive and they don't know what to do, so they just go with the middle one. But again, if we can get them to the middle one 30, 40% of the time, even throughout the year, that ends up, you know, working out really well for you guys by the end of the year. So perfect. So, all right, I'm going to get logged in here to the back, and we're going to check out the management side. I think this is really more what we're going to be asking to see today. Right? I do apologize. There's a 10-minute timeout here, so it's good for your security, but makes it a little painful, and we have to log in every time. So awesome. So this is the web portal. This is really what you guys will see when you log in. Obviously, your customers, your techs don't see this stuff. First thing to get to here is business information. And this is going right back to what you talked about moving your price book. This is where we can come in now and see, I'm actually in the AC book. Everything in the AC book is going off $230 an hour. So that 90 minutes we saw is going to bill off $230 an hour, etc. We want this to go up. 130 is not enough. I can change this to 250, calculate business info. Depending on your internet connection and the size of the changes, it takes between 2 and 10 seconds, and that is going to change everything in your air conditioning book is now going to bill off $250 an hour. So very simple for you guys to go in and make those changes. At that point, we're going to have to come to your import export here and then just upload a new file into SuccessWare. You can see it took about 7.5 seconds there. Another beautiful thing here is you in the air conditioning, we can jump now in the heating book and charge $230 an hour. We can charge in your install book, do $250 an hour. All these books will operate independently from each other. So you can do different bill out rates, different service agreement discounts, even different parts markups. If we click parts margin in each book, this is how we have them default set it up. Something you guys I'm sure are very familiar with. Low cost stuff marked up extremely high. As the cost goes up, the markup percentage is coming down. Of course, you guys can come in here and you can add lines, take lines away, open them up. We can even do a profit percentage as opposed to markup percentage. So sky's the limit, and this chart will be individual to the book. So if you want to do a different setup for service as opposed to new equipment on parts markups, you can absolutely set it up that way. When it hits the tablet, the customer sees it in the field. It looks exactly the same. You know, they don't see any difference there. So again, just meant to be a simple, easy way for you guys to do that stuff. Over here is where we're doing your service agreement rates. This will always be your value rate or whatever your lowest rate is. And if you guys, they don't have a service agreement, we're turning it up 15% from here. And then we do support a third rate. Most people reserve it nights, weekends, off hours, and we're actually turning that 25% above the 250. So that's kind of how we have those set up. A little bit different. We're not technically giving them a discount. We're actually turning it up if they don't have the agreements. But we want to set this as our minimum bill out rate and never go below that rate. So that's why we have it set up that way. And then sales tax, I'm sure Uncle Sam's given you enough lessons on sales tax. I don't need to. If you put us inside SuccessWare, all your sales tax will be handled through them when you do the billing as well.
Okay.
Any questions on this page? I know it's pretty straightforward stuff, but any questions before we move on?
Nope.
Awesome. Manage book, another super easy one we're going to hit here. This is just controlling what we see in the book. You know, wintertime's coming. Go to number 1. Heating will now show up in the top left. You know, you guys aren't doing drain cleaning. You're not doing plumbing. We can toggle these books off. Your guys never see them. Again, you can come through the secondary levels, the subcategories. You can even go as far as the actual task level and turn things on and off. So Victoria, you guys do get 100% control of exactly everything that they see. It's just up to you how deep you want to come in here and customize that for them.
Okay.
And then tasks. This is really kind of the big one. This is where all the tasks are housed. This is where we're getting all the information from. Just jump in this one. This is that blower motor we looked at earlier. It's where I can change the description, secondary description. customer description over here. Here's that 90 minutes. If I want to, turn this, make this a little more expensive, a little cheaper, I can adjust this price or the minutes here without adjusting the hourly rate for everything in the heating book. So that's how we're just moving one task at a time. And then down below are the parts that are included. Again, beauty of flat rate. We know they need a belt and a capacitor, so we just bundle them right in the task, sell them one repair task as opposed to trying to upsell them those parts. And then miscellaneous. You're going to see this on basically every job. What this is: nuts, bolts, screws, washers, caulk, test tape. Enormous amount of clutter that is completely unnecessary for this book. That being said, it's kind of low cost stuff that we want to recover on. So you're going to see a miscellaneous recovery charge on almost every job. Normally they're about $3 per job. So again, just a small recovery charge for that little one-off stuff. Next tab we see here is calculations. And I think this is going to be a big one for you, Victoria. This is going to tell us here what the parts cost us, what we sold these parts back to the customer for, what the labor cost us, what we sold the labor back to the customer for, and then depending on which one of these rates, it's going to tell us what we made in dollars or in profit percentage by going out to do this job. Now, obviously, these numbers are estimations based on exactly 90 minutes. If your guy takes an hour, if he takes 80 minutes, these numbers are going to be a bit skewed, but it gives you the opportunity to see stuff before you send it out in the field. So we can change our parts prices, our bill out rates, see what it's going to do to our profitability before we send this live to the guys in the field. So you don't have to run a tech in a home, get the invoice, and see, oh boy, we didn't set this up right. We need to make some work. So just gives you an idea where you're at, and you'll find this on every single task, including new tasks that you build. And as you update bill out rates, parts markups, this chart will adjust itself for you guys. So really a nice feature, I think. Category simply tells us where we find it in the book. It's under heating, forced hot air, blower wheels, and motors. Marketing is where we're going to adjust those upsells and cross sells. You'll find the common sense stuff done for you guys already, a pull and clean on a blower motor. If we need to add something, all we do is hit this add task button, search it in the taskbar, hit the little plus next to it. Now this disconnect gas appliance would come up next time. We brought this task up. And then at the bottom here is where we looked at the thermostats. Obviously, with a generic blower motor, we don't really have anything to upgrade them into here. And then my favorite part, which is the images. Obviously, images are a big thing. Here's all the images on this job. The drop-down can change the order. Some people like to have those diagrams pop up first. We can also pull in new images from any kind of library, your own manufacturer's library, but there's really no point to do that because this is connected directly with Google. So all you have to do is put in any word, stock numbers, part numbers. I can't even spell rhino today. Apologize for that. Google's going to search the internet, find the images. Let's find a nice one. And then all you have to do is grab it, crop it, upload it. It takes about 1 second. Now this rhino's in your book. So, Honeywell comes out with a new line. You put in Honeywell Model A1, pull up a picture of that thermostat, put it in the book. Really easy for you guys to change those and update that. Also, I like to tell people if you want to mess with your techs on a Friday afternoon, you can have a ton of fun with that right there. And then lastly here is accounting. Again, asterisk, you'll only use this if you're using our standalone app. All the accounting is going to be done inside of Successware if you guys go that route. But it simply says pays commission, yes or no, taxable, yes or no, and then account here is basically what bucket. So when we take this out to move it to QuickBooks or wherever you guys are taking it, we can have your heating in one spot, your AC in another spot, your new installs, etc. So we can go to the right place. Again, if you integrate inside of Successware, this is all going to be done inside there. So what do you have for questions? I know I just put a ton of stuff on your plate in about 3 minutes there. So what kind of questions do you have, Victoria?
I don't have any. If it's so Successware would take care of payroll on their end, is what you're saying.
Correct. We're simply handling pricing information.
Okay.
Yep. Awesome. Next one is parts, and this is one we kind of talked about earlier. Parts prices are on a national average currently. We talk about how in that Success program we'll spot check, your most common parts and make sure this list gets where it needs to be. You talked about adjusting prices. How easy is that? Again, update cost by product line. Copper went up 4% last week. I can go up here, 4%. This is going to update every single piece of copper in this book, whether it's 20 feet of pipe, 1/8-inch fitting. It's going to move it up by 4%, price it according to whatever the business information page says it should be marked up as. We can do the same thing with product lines. We can come in here and put Lennox, Trane, Ruud, and move every piece of Lennox equipment up at 2 to 3%. They go up every year, all of them like clockwork. And no matter, if it's furnaces, evap coils, toilets, faucets, anything with that Lennox brand name will be moved up that percentage, and again, done in one keystroke. So like you said, you don't have to go in 70, 80 different tasks and do them all manually. So again, it's meant to save you some time, make it easy to manage and easy to keep up on your copper, your freons, that stuff that fluctuates daily or weekly sometimes.
Okay.
Excellent, excellent. All right, these next three I'm going to jump in here. Again, this is stuff for standalone only. So if you're going to import into Successware, again, you won't see them, but I just want to kind of give you an idea. This is our customer management section. Again, if you're going to build through Successware, you'll use their customer management. But this obviously invoice date, or invoice number, date, customer, service address, the technician that did the job. Options. This is meant to show you the three options we're offered on this job. If we offered 5, we'd see 5 bubbles. If we were offered none, we'll see no bubbles. Meant to be, at the end of the day, you can look at this, make sure these guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing out there. And if not, pretty easy for you guys to pick up on that here. Also, if you just click on the option, it'll show you what they bought, which is obviously the green one. You can even click on the ones they didn't buy and just make sure your guys are offering viable stuff. The total, if they paid, we're going to put it in this huge blue box again, so you don't have to run a report to know who paid and who hasn't. If they haven't, again, it won't be in a box, easy to see. And then to look at the invoices here, we just go ahead and decide which one we want to look at. And this is where we're going to generate our invoices if we want to print them and mail them to the customer. We're having some internet issues today. There's a big accident outside. So again, just a nice, easy way. If you guys are going to put us in Successware, you're going to manage all this inside of Successware. So any kind of questions on that? Again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time in it because it sounds like you guys are pretty set on putting it inside Successware.
I think that's it. I don't have any questions. I'm just taking it in as you go.
Awesome, awesome. Then really last thing I'm going to hit is import-export. And I like to call this a no fun page because this is where you're going to do all your reports, all your no fun stuff at the end of the day. But this is where we can pull these reports out by trade, by parts, by tasks, by fixed task time. We can pull them out by, tech. We can see, what jobs this tech ran today. And then also this is where we're going to pre-format it to move it into tons of other systems. ServicePal, obviously we can take it directly from us to QuickBooks. We're big partners with ServiceTitan. I know that might be a bad word to you. Successware here, obviously that's what we're looking at today. Desco, FieldEdge. Really cool thing about our price book is we integrate on so many different platforms. As you guys grow and change in the market, this price book can kind of come with you guys everywhere you go. So it really gives you, great options and flexibility. And let's face it, one less thing you have to worry about. You're in the middle of a switch now. You know how hectic it can be. So anything you can take off your plate in that kind of time frame is really cool as well.
Okay.
That's what I got for you here. Again, I'll pause for questions. If not, we'll quick talk about pricing, and I'll get you back to your day.
Well, pricing would be my next question.
Right. No one ever just throws money at me. So depending on how you guys want to use it, we have 2 different pricing methods. If you're going to use our app as a presentation tool, option boards, upsells, cross-sells, all that stuff, it is a per tablet use, which is $55 per tablet. Now, that's only cut text in the field. Your office logins are always free. If you have 5 people in the field and you have 40 people in the office, you're only paying for 5 logins. All the office people can log in. They just can't generate an invoice on a tablet. If you want to do an integration with us, and again, I apologize, it's going to be just a little sloppy here so I can show you both. We do it just a little bit different. We do what we call a flat fee. So basically, this is unlimited usage, unlimited text, unlimited office staff, whatever you guys want. This is integrated inside of that Successware for you guys, and it's $189 a month flat. Again, whether you have 8 techs or 800 techs, you're looking at the same price. We're simply dumping a price book inside a system for you guys. Either way we go, we're looking at a one-time charge of $1,299, and that is really to cover that success program we talked about here, as far as building the books, doing the trainings, all that stuff. And really the main reason we charge that up front is we don't do contracts. You guys are not with us for 2 years, 6 months, anything like that. If you guys aren't happy with the service we provide, we'd much rather shake hands and part ways than fight about billing and credit cards, that kind of thing. That being said, we have to charge something to basically build you guys, a customized price book. So we are looking at $1,299 up front to get going, and then again, just the $189 or $55 per tech after that, depending on which way you guys decide to
go. Okay. All right. I'm assuming this is all done over,
Over web.
they're all offline, over
Yeah.
web.
They're all over webinars. Even a tech training, we usually bring them in the morning, and and sit them down. And this is big with our standalone app. With Successware, they'll do your tech training because you're using their platform with our price book. But it's just good to give them a good base. They're always the wild card. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but you can lead a horse to water to get these guys on board. If they're into it and doing it well, it'll work great. You know what it's like if they struggle with it and want to resist. So we always like to try and give them as good a base as possible. So yeah, just keep that in mind going forward. And then again, I like to stress very much this 4-week time frame is extremely realistic. So just keep that in mind if you guys decide to go with us with your onboarding and going lifetimes.
Okay.
Perfect. So what I'll do, we'll jump off the phone here. Give me just a little bit for it to get uploaded, and our company meeting started a few minutes ago, so I got to jump in there. But I will shoot over that full YouTube video. I'll have both our voices. You guys can jump on and have that to review it. If you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. My job is to obviously answer questions and facilitate what's best for you guys. So please reach out. Otherwise, if I haven't heard from you in about a week or a little more than a week from today, it'll be Christmas Eve. I'll just give a call and check in with you guys.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Victoria. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.